Hello YouTube, my name is Isabella and welcome back to my channel Stubbornly Bookish, and I'm here to film a quick tag video and kind of discuss where I've been over the past few weeks. Essentially, I just kind of needed a little bit of a break from BookTube. Life was being really stressful, the world itself was just falling to shit, and I just needed a break. I haven't wanted to read for so long, and therefore I didn't really feel like filming, and I was kind of disappointed in that because I was doing really well with uploading once a week every Friday. I was happy with my schedule. Today I'm going to be doing a tag video that I was tagged in 6 months ago, but hold on. Let me explain. I was tagged by Kristen over at Kristen's library to do the I Dare You book tag back in like June or July. I was so excited to be tagged in something. I had never been tagged before, and I filmed it once, hated the way it came out, so I filmed it again, fully edited it, and then my computer crashed. So by the time I got my computer back, the video was just kind of obsolete because there's a few questions that ask you like what you're currently doing and planning on reading, and I just then kind of forgot that I was tagged in it. From what I remember, the I Dare You book tag is all about like daring you to be completely honest, not telling any sort of lies, but like being 100% honest with your answers. It has an eclectic set of questions and it's really fun, so I'm excited to do this tag. I'm also going to link both Kristen and the creator's video down below, and finally, all my discussions aside, I'm going to answer these questions. The first question is, what book has been on your TBR shelves the longest? And I'm actually going with The Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. It's technically not even on my shelves, but up hidden away in my closet. So I have been meaning to read it for years. I actually read about maybe 20 pages once, but I wasn't really feeling it at the time. But I've had that book for at least 6 years. The next question is current read, last read, and your next read. So the last book I finished was so long ago, and I actually had to take a second and remember which book it was that I finished because I just haven't been reading. But the last book I finished was Batman by Marie Lu. I have 2 current reads. The first one is 3 Sides of a Heart, edited by Natalie C. Parker. It's an anthology all about love triangles, and boy, has it felt like I've been reading this for so long. Oh my god, it's not necessarily the book, although there have been a couple stories that I really haven't liked, but it's just I haven't been wanting to read, so this one has really been put on the back burner. And the other book I'm currently reading is Manhattan Beach by Jennifer Egan. This is a historical fiction thrillery type book. I haven't entirely gotten what the book is about yet, and I'm halfway through it, but it's at work, so that's why I have a picture here. And the next books I'm planning on reading are either The Elite, which is the second book in the Selection trilogy, or I'm going to be starting the Shatter Me trilogy by Tahara Mafi. The third question is, what book did everyone else love but you hated? And if you're familiar with me, you might be familiar with my answer, but it is ACOTAR by Sarah J. Maas. I've talked about this so much over the course of my channel, but I hated this first book. I did not understand why I still don't understand why people give this book a 5-star rating. Nothing happens. The characters are shit. The romance is romanticized but entirely unhealthy. And as much as I liked A Court of Mist and Fury, this first book really wasn't worth it for me to get to A Court of Mist and Fury, which I will admit is a pretty great book. The next question is, what book do you keep telling yourself you're going to read but know you're probably never going to get to it? And mine is What We Saw by Aaron Hertzler. From what I understand, is based on a true story and attempts to dismantle rape culture, which is an important book, which is such an important story and book to read, but I just, for whatever reason, don't want to pick this up. I don't know why. There are other books on my TBR that I want to read that discuss rape culture and sexual assault and all this stuff, but this one I don't want to read, and I don't know why, but I think I'm going to give myself to the end of this year, and if I don't read it, then I have to get rid of it because I've just had it for so long. The next question is, what books are you saving for retirement? And I'm going to pick Leo Tolstoy's books. Both Anna Karenina and War and Peace are huge books that I've been interested in reading, but right now do not want to commit the time to. They're supposed to be very densely written and they're huge, so I just really don't feel like reading them right now, but they are ones that I would like to read in my lifetime. The next question is a doozy, but it's last page. Read it first or save it for the end. And I have never read the last page of a book ever in my life. I don't understand why people do it, and I really thought that nobody really did it, or like very few people have done it, but then I saw on Twitter recently that quite a few people read the last page, and I just don't understand. I just don't get it. Why would you do that? Why would you spoil the entire story for yourself? The next question is the acknowledgements. Waste of paper or interesting aside? And I'm actually one of those people who like to read the acknowledgements of books. I love seeing who the author has to thank for helping them get there. I don't know, for whatever reason, I find it really interesting. The next question is, which book character would you switch places with? And I'm not switching places with anyone. Most of my favorite books are fantasy, and they are living in a shitty situation, and they go through so much garbage that I just never want that at all. I don't. Like, can you imagine wanting to switch places with a Fred from The Handmaid's Tale? No thank you, I'll pass. I will gladly read about your story, but I never want to switch places with them. The next question was, do you have a book that reminds you of a specific time or place or person? And I do. Mine is actually Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. I have very vivid memories of rereading this series because in the 8th grade, I had a French teacher that I hated. He taught nothing. He was useless. He was too busy trying to be like cool and whatnot to actually teach, and I was so over it. I was near like graduating the 8th grade, looking forward to going to high school, so I decided I was going to pick these books up again and reread them because I hadn't read them in a while. And I just remember like sticking the book under my desk and just reading, and then moving on to the next one and the next one and the next one, just because I thought my teacher was stupid. The next question is, name a book that you acquired in an interesting way. And I'm picking Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi. This book I've been wanting to read for so long, and I'm still kind of pissed at myself that I hadn't read it, but anyway, I had been wanting to read it ever since, I think it was maybe 2016, when everyone was saying like that this book was on their favorites of the year. So many people were talking about how good this book was, and I wanted to pick it up so bad. I remember being at Indigo and like having the book in my hands and going, okay, I want to read it. Like, I want to read it so bad, but I couldn't justify like paying full hardcover price for it. But my town actually holds this annual book sale in like March or April, and I was there bright and early because I wanted to have the pick of all the good books, and I was just searching among the tables, saw the bright yellow spine, and was like, no, is it? And I like ran over to the table, snatched it up so quickly, and was thrilled to have found it. And I paid $4 for this hardcover, perfect condition, and I just remember being so thrilled. Next question is, have you ever given away a special book for a special reason? And I haven't given away a book of my own collection for a special reason, but I did purchase a book as a gift for my friend, and it was actually the Hamiltome. This was something that my friend and I really bonded over a few years ago, and I essentially forced her to listen to Hamilton because she kept not doing it, and I was like, you know what, fine. We're just gonna listen to it now. And so she ended up falling in love with it, and I loved it too. And so for her birthday, I ended up buying this for her. Not exactly giving away a special book, but it was still for a special reason. So the next question is, which book has been with you the most places? And mine's a classic, but it is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I took these books everywhere with me as a child. I remember going on car trips and everything. So just reading these books over and over and over again. But most recently, I traveled to Nova Scotia by car, and I actually took this with me. The next question I find very interesting, and it is, was there any required reading that you read in high school and hated, but then gave a second chance and loved? And weirdly specific question, but kind of like it. But I kind of have an answer to this, and it's Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I read this in the 9th grade, and I don't know what I was thinking. I just clearly did not research this book properly. I did not know what I was getting myself into, and therefore I hated it. I had very little experience with reading any sorts of classics, and boy, as one of your first experiences with like classic books, don't recommend Wuthering Heights. I hated it. Now, I haven't reread it, but as you can see, I purchased like a nice copy of it, and I do plan at some point in time to reread this book because I didn't give it a fair shot. I was like 14 reading about Kathy and being really confused and genuinely believing that there were 3 different Catherines in the story. So this one is a to be continued. I hope I like it. Frankly, I think this book right now would be quite up my alley, so I'm interested to see if my thoughts change upon a reread. The next question is used or brand new, and I'm gonna say both. I purchase a fair amount of both used and new books. However, especially in these past few months, buying used books and thrifting books have really been why my collection has grown so much. I couldn't afford buying the amount of books I do if I bought them just at an Indigo. The next question is, have you ever read a book by Dan Brown? And no, I haven't, and I don't think I plan to. Question 16 is, have you seen a movie that you liked more than the book? And I can't say for both a book I've read and a movie I've watched that I've liked a movie more, but I will say that I think the Pretty Little Liars TV show is a lot better than the books. Those books are something. And even the Vampire Diaries TV show was a lot better than the books. And frankly, I didn't love those TV shows that much. Question 17 is, have you ever read a book that has made you hungry? And I don't think so. I can't recall a time where I've been hungry because of a book. So no, not really. And the last question is, whose book advice will you always take? I'm just not going to take someone's advice 100% of the time. I have specific booktubers I like for specific types of recommendations, and I'm always liking growing that, but I can't say that I'm going to take someone's advice 100% of the time. I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I think I spoke for a very long time, and I think I have a shitload of editing to do. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'd like to thank Kristen for tagging me, originally tagging me so long ago. I apologize it took me so damn long, but I hope you enjoyed this. I'm personally thrilled to be back to BookTube, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.